Yes, Your Highness, the new youth intake has arrived. No, I don't think so. Well, look, if you want a wee Scottish Messi, you're going to have to invest more in youth development. Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Queen of the South on the Impossible Dream as we try and win the Champions League with our Scottish team. We're not going to do that this year, we are out of Europe, but we have League and Cup glory to play for, and today we're going to hopefully be taking a step towards both of those things. We have Hearts in the final league game before the split, and then we are at Hampden to face Arbroath in the Scottish Cup semi-final. That is a very big opportunity to get ourselves back into a Scottish Cup final. Now, since last episode, the big news is in relation to the youth development, and we have got our intake as well. So we've got a couple of decent prospects here. We love a winger at this club, don't we? Thankfully, we've got some right-sided players this time coming through. So Colin, that's not how you say that name, is it? Marshall, a promising wing up, which is good, right-footed, has a decent cross on him, decent physically. Only 15 as well. Good teamwork, work rate. A lot to like about him. Hopefully he develops for us. And another right-footed winger. Maybe not quite as... we'll see what happens with him. Another promising winger, though, which is good. Jock Smart. And, we'll see what happens with him. They're both potentially decent players. Very much Premiership quality. So let's hope they come through for us. A few others here. We are in the process of signing some of these guys to youth contracts. I usually try and sign... This guy, I think, actually looks more like a striker than a winger to me, or maybe an inside forward, but we'll see what happens with him. He does actually look quite decent, doesn't he? So we'll see what happens with a lot of these guys, and there may be one or two that come through. I suspect maybe these guys we're looking more at trying... I mean, the problem with... Not the problem, but the issue, I suppose, with Scottish football is that there's no real money in the championship, so we could develop sort of good quality championship players, but there's nowhere really to... Also, let's see, Scott Morrison has something to do after losing the Australian election. So it'd be interesting to see, if we... A, how good we can make these guys, and B, if there is a market for them, but I suspect there's not as much money, as I say, in the Scottish Championship, so it's probably unlikely we can make a decent amount of money selling players off like we could do if we were, for example, in the English League. But anyway, that is what it is. As ever, I like to name these guys after my Patreon supporters, so we've got two promising wingers here. If you like what you see, let me know if you're a qualifying Patreon, and we'll get those guys renamed for you. But yeah, that is the intake for this year, and it's better than nothing. I'd say better than a kick in the balls, as my pa would have said. And if we go and have a look here at something else that has happened, we have had a request granted for a new affiliate. Now, this is we're looking to bring in young players. Does it say that here somewhere? Anyway, that was the idea of this one. The two previous affiliates we've got are very much for off-field trying to get money in. This one, we're looking to find somebody that we can poach youngsters off them, basically. So we'll see what happens. It's only just been approved, but we'll see what happens on that front. And a quick reminder update of what is happening off the field. And I apologise if you're watching on a phone. I know this is a pain in the ass to try and see. Superb training facilities, great youth facilities, and we are due to move back into Hampden Park. We're the 8th of April now. On the 13th, Palmerston is complete. So we might... Are we at home? No, I think we're away. We're at Hampden's second game, aren't we? So we will, at some point this season, be going back to an expanded Palmerston, so that's exciting. And of course, if we go and have a look at the club vision, youth facilities are on the improve, as are the training facilities. So everything there is getting moved forward. Now, there are some games to catch you up on since last episode. I believe they are both in the league. The first one was against Wraith Rovers. They are struggling as a newly promoted side. So let's go see if we could nick the 3 points off them. We took a first half lead through Duque. And we're 2-0 up at half time when Duque found McLean unmarked. Before Ong finally broke his drought. So as comfortable as you would hope it would be, Ong finally breaking the drought. You can see it was the 94th minute. I actually changed it. I think Ibarra was supposed to take it, and I changed it to try and get Ong a chance to get himself on the score sheet, which he did. Hopefully, that will get him back into goal-scoring ways. But yeah, you can see even with the goal, he wasn't playing well. So there is definite concerns about Ong and his form. But the important thing was a comfortable 3 points, which took us on to the next game, which was against Aberdeen. The only goal came in the second half after Bayliss picked out Johnson's run. So a tough game, a deserved win. Johnson is quickly becoming the first choice striker, I think. But yeah, you can see from the XG tracker, shots and everything, we did deserve to win the game. Aberdeen are a tough nut to crack, but eventually we did crack it, and that is obviously the main thing. You can see we changed things up a little bit. Duque came on Angus, so I think we moved him out wide. So I think when we scored the goal, we were actually playing with wingers, not so much in this formation. But yeah, like I say, we got there, and that is ultimately the main thing. Let's have a look and see what these results have done for the league table. And we have moved close up to Rangers, and that is because if we have a look here, Rangers actually lost away to Aberdeen. So the Dons there doing us a very, very big favour. And yeah, that is huge. We are now within striking distance again of Rangers, and we're going to have a big game against them at some point, aren't we, in the league after the split, because it could be a case of winner takes all. But that's all for a later date. Right now we are playing Hearts in the final game before the split. That is a game that I hope we win. And then it's Arbroath. Again, another game we should win, but we've said that before in the Cup, haven't we? And been embarrassed. But I would definitely be embarrassed if we couldn't beat Arbroath, I think, and especially in a neutral venue. All right, let's have a look and see what we're doing here against Hearts. Now, we are expecting a 4-2-3-1 formation from them, and this is the team we're sending out. With only domestic football to play, we can very much focus our lineups as such. So Burstick in goal, Varela, Walker, Leshy and Ayrton as the back four, Mashagi and Bayliss in midfield, Duque, Bermudez and McLean, with Ong going up top. You can see Ong's recent form. It's really, really poor. 4.6, sorry, that would be bad. 6.46. I mean, if you had told me at the start of the year that he would have any spell like that, I would have laughed at you. But here we are. Let's hope he can, well, he's got one goal now. Let's hope he kicks on. All right, so we can see the team sheets here. There's a couple of decent players, though I think Hearts is maybe, and I shouldn't say this before the game, but there may be a team that is on the decline ever so slightly. What do we want to say to this? We're on a good run. Let's keep that going, shall we? All right, we'll go with that. We'll pump our fists. Oh, this is going well. It's going less well now, but let's get out there. Actually, no, let's give Ong a little team talk. See if we can get some more green. That worked, kind of. Now, there is a few things to catch you up on that have happened off the field. McLean has signed the contract extension. He came to me wanting a contract extension, so we gave it to him because he's obviously a very good player for us. Ball in, towards Walker. He just couldn't quite win it. We've got a second chance here. Mashagi, Leshy, Walker, Bayliss. Can he... It's all very compact, isn't it? That's a better ball for Bayliss. Oh, a little back flick, and this is Bermudez. Wide there for Anton. Can he pull it back across goal? Oh, it's a penalty, is it, ref? No, apparently not. Can Bermudez make a tackle? Oh, he's done brilliantly. He's won it back. Now, can he play in Ong? Conan Ong. Oh, that's Conan Ong. Hey, welcome back, mate. Welcome back. A 31st goal of the season on the volley, not quite over the shoulder, but certainly from behind. And that is the Conan Ong we have missed. Very, very much missed. Good to have you back. Look at this. Wonderful ball from Bermudez. Oh, that's class. Absolute class. And it is 1-0 in the second minute. So yeah, anyway, we've signed McLean to an extension, which is excellent. And they did the top 51, the kids. And we actually had 3 players in there. Johnson was the highest rated one. One of our own, Gary Turpie, was in there, as was our young defender here, Ianu. So that's good. 3 in the top 51, the kids. Of course, they're not all. I don't think any of them are rated as a wonder kid, but it shows that, we've got some good young players at the club. I mean, players, Leshy's been in there in the past. I think Duque was as well. Bermudez may have been in there. So, we've got players that have, quality at a young age. And if we can bring them through, keep them together as a team, then, we could go a long way yet as a club. Oh, Duque, not quite. Oh, we've won it back again through Bermudez. Ong's in again here. Conan Ong, oh, he is back. He just needed that penalty, didn't he? He's got 2 goals in 7 minutes. That's his 32nd of the year. Now, the club record, was it 37 or 38 goals? He suddenly is looking absolutely nailed on to get that record. Duque couldn't quite get there. Bermudez did well. Duque kept his head, threaded it through for Conan Ong, and, well, there it is. 2-0, 7 minutes gone, and Ong is well and truly back. And Bermudez has proven to be a little bit of a defensive gem in this one. which is unexpected, I think we can all say. Rangers must be drawing, but we won't get too excited about that just yet. Of course, we are still looking for Viewers Player of the Year nominations. So whoever you think has been our best, or of course your favourite player this season, doesn't necessarily have to be your best. Let me know. You can nominate more than one player, and we will... Ross County. Tycoon-owned Ross County, sorry, to give them their full title, is ahead of Celtic. Ross County are looking as though they are just starting to get their act together, which is slightly concerning. I think if they start getting into Europe and can attract better players, then that's going to be a fourth team, I think, if we still consider... I mean, Celtic is still a good side, so yeah, it's going to make it a little bit more interesting. Oh, that's a cracking ball from Varela. It is Duque at the back post, and we are tearing Hearts apart. 3-0 now, and we're not even half an hour into this one. Really good run from Varela. I'm not sure if it's a good ball in. The defensive play, maybe. No, it's just a good ball in, isn't it? Goalkeeper, maybe could have come to get something on it. But it's a tough one to ask the defender to try and clear that facing his own goal, isn't it? And Celtic are now 2-1 up over Tycoon-owned Ross County. But yeah, don't forget to get your nominees in. We'll start to get a nominations list together. It's always tricky once we're out of Europe to know exactly how long we have to go before the end of the season. It looks as though we're going to be in a title race, and hopefully if we can do our part, it'll go down to the wire. So I suspect we might have 2 or 3 more episodes left, depending on how the fixtures fall, of course, after the split. Let's, of course, don't let complacency creep in here, please. We'll pump our fists, go out there and prove you have what it takes to make the difference. And as I say, we'll get back out there. We've got an early highlight here for Hearts, which is not really what we want. Bermudez, the defensive gem, picks out Ong, and here we go. Ayrton on an overlapping right. Oh, I think Duque just got in his way. Out of the way, Duque. And Hearts have the ball again. And what we don't really want is... that reeks a little bit of complacency, if I'm honest. What we don't really want is that, but did Bursic turn that in? It looked as though it might have been... He's got a hand... No, it was going in anyway. It looked like maybe he sort of hit the inside of his hand and he sort of turned it back towards goal, but that's not at all what happened. So we just want to be a little bit careful here. We don't want to give Hearts a way back into the game, having absolutely destroyed them in that first half. Let's see if they've just woken us up. There's a decent pass. McLean is... Oh, it's a penalty. That's an assault. Oh, come on, ref. Varela wins it back. He's got the ball now. Chance to cross. It's there for Bayliss. Bayliss! Oh, Tommy Bayliss. Wonderful stuff. I still think that maybe was a penalty. It was a very Scottish, your stereotypical Scottish challenge, wasn't it? But we kept our heads. Bayliss made himself a little bit of space. Bermudez found him. Bermudez is having a cracking game, isn't he? Look at that finish from Tommy Bayliss as well. Has there been a better player for this club than Tom Bayliss? I mean, Ong is obviously looking like he could be, but Tom Bayliss has just been absolute class from the moment we signed him. He's got some very big goals for us as well, some very important goals. And he just shows absolutely no signs of slowing down, even though he is 30 now. I honestly wouldn't sell him. I would give him whatever he wants. Nilton's picked up an injury. So we'll make a sub there at 4-1. There's probably no need to leave him on. We might, I'm looking at bookings as well. We might maybe look to get some bookings off the pitch. Not sure how I feel about Varela doing a little... Oh, Leshy's gone well. He's done really, really well. Not sure how I feel about Varela doing a little spinning back flick in our own half. But anyway, he got away with it, so that's okay. We've got another throw here for Hearts. Cross comes in towards goal. What has happened there? Offside, is it? It is. All right, we're going to take Ayrton off because he's on a booking and give Ianu some game time. And we might take... I kind of want to get Bruno on. So we'll take Mashagi off because he's got that booking as well. And is there another goal in this one for us? It's comfortable. Unfortunately for us, Rangers are now 2-0 up. I mean, they're playing St Mirren. You would have expected them to win that game anyway. Duque's not done brilliantly there. And it's 4-2. It's not been our finest defensive display, this one, has it? It's one of these games where, I mean, Duque's just got to have a little bit of a better touch there, doesn't he? And yeah, we were just scrambling, I think, after that. I mean, we are still attacking as well, so that maybe has something to do with it. But yeah, Rangers 2-0 up against St Mirren at home. You would have expected them to win that game anyway, so there's no real disappointment there. But it was a more even game, I think, than the score reflects. But we were absolutely brilliant in that first half, so we'll say second half wasn't good enough. We can get on board with that. So still a 2-point gap at the top of the table, and yeah, Ross County, just stay in that bottom half, please. They can't actually get out of it, can they? Because there's one game to go before the split, or are we at the split? No, we're at the split, so they're going to be bottom half again, so no European football for Ross County. And like I say, I think that's a good thing, because they do appear to just be starting to get their act together. So Varela is out of the semi-final. Now, we are facing a what they call championship team, so that should be okay. Duque set for a bonus. Ong is set for a bonus, which is all absolutely fine. We've qualified for the Europa Conference League. Hooray for us. And, well, Bermudez was not just the 2 assists there. I thought, he won the ball back for us numerous times. I thought he was really good, and I'm glad he won man of the match. But there we go. That is the league done. We've got, well, actually, we'll have our fixtures for that now, won't we? So let's have a look. We start away to Celtic and Motherwell, Rangers and Aberdeen, and then Hibs, and potentially a cup final in there somewhere as well. So, anyway, let's do the cup final, then we can worry about where we're going from there. Okay, welcome back. Now, ahead of the game here against Arbroath, we have a record that's on the cuffs are being broken. We have Shakir Omar, who is still at, he's on 50 grand a week. He's on too much money. But his assist record, we only have Duque 1 behind that, so that could easily go this game. And the other news is that the expansion to Palmerston Park has been completed. Now, I'm a little bit worried here, actually, because we've got a capacity of just over 13,000, but only just under 8,000 seats, which I don't think is enough for Europe, is it? Because the terracing is the other 5,000, and I'm fairly certain that in Europe, terracing doesn't count. So we'd have a capacity, essentially, of 8,000, which is not enough. So we still may not be able to host our own European games, but yeah, pain in the backside, but it is what it is. Let's have a look and see what we're doing here against Arbroath. They are, where are they currently in the championship? I think, let's have a look here. 7th in the championship, so we should be able to beat them and beat them fairly well, shouldn't we? But let's famous last words, of course. We are expecting a 5-2-3 or whatever you want to call that from them. It's behind my head. You have no idea probably what it looks like, do you? Let's have a look here, though. We are going with a strong side. Bursic in goal. Witham has to come in because Varela is injured after last game, of course. Walker, Leshy, and Gilchrist comes in. That is because Ayrton again has a bit of a knock. So it should be fine with Gilchrist there. He's a good player. Mashagi and Bayless in midfield. Duque, Bermudez, and McLean. Ong goes up top. And this is a strong side. If they can't beat a championship club, I will be very disappointed. Okay, so we can see the team sheets there. Is there any names that we recognise in the Arbroath side? I don't think so. It's nice to be back at Hampden, of course. We haven't been here, having sort of made the semi-finals the first few years. We haven't been back for a little while, have we? I think we ignore recent praise, play with that pressure and have fun. It's one of these that, I mean, it would be a shock if we didn't win. I have done everything I can pre-game, in press conferences and everything, just trying to make sure that we're not going to be complacent for this, because it's a game that would be very easy to think that we can walk over. But I mean, to get this far, Arbroath obviously have something about them. So we do need to be a little bit careful. Of course, the downside to playing a smaller team is that we're not going to get the gate receipts that we would have if we were facing an Old Firm side. So that's a little bit disappointing. But I mean, we're not that desperate for cash with Champions League money. Of course, we can just about do without. Here we go, Gilchrist forward for Bermudez. Bayless, good ball from McLean. We've got the overlapping run of Witham. Witham back to McLean. Oh, it's taken a deflection. No, it's just a terrible finish. McLean, ball in, decent. Leshy, oh, it's still there, and on the rebound, I'm not sure, how do you say that first name? Zion Leshy has got the goal. We're 1-0 up in the 8th minute, and hopefully we can go on with this now and book ourselves a place in the final. Good ball in, first header was a good one. Second, I tell you what, as a finish from a centre-back, that is pretty impressive stuff. Let's give them some praise. And it would be nice to try and keep a clean sheet here, especially after Hearts, where we looked comfortable, but not necessarily the best at the back. Got a lot of people doing a Jesus impersonation back here, which is interesting. Alright, we'll just keep praising them. Witham is looking nervous. I don't think we get Witham back next season on loan. Oh, there's another ball in. How has that stayed out? I thought the first header was going in, and somehow the second one didn't either. But yeah, I don't know if we keep Witham on loan. I mean, we could try and get him back. We're not paying him much. I've just been a little bit disappointed by him. He wants to play as a wing-back, which doesn't necessarily... I mean, the Brighton manager has been complaining to me at every opportunity that I'm not playing him where he should be playing. The difference between an attacking full-back and a wing-back, I would imagine, is not much. I always thought the difference in McLean with a free kick, McLean outside of the post, is a fullback plays behind a winger and a wingback doesn't. A wingback is sort of like that's a wingback and a fullback would have a winger in front of him. That's always been my impression of the difference. But yeah, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's sort of how I rationalize things in my brain. Oh, we're trying to pick their way through. We've just about done it, and oh, was it all Bermudez? Bayless, someone with a header there. Couldn't keep it down. So it looks as though we've absolutely dominated the first half. They haven't had a shot, but it is only 1-0, so that's always a little bit nervy. McLean, you've done fine, mate. So we'll outstretched arms and all right with him. You get players, and it's probably not that he's doing anything wrong. He just annoys me. I don't know how a name on a video game can annoy you, but we've all been there, haven't we? He just annoys me, and that ultimately I think will be why we don't get him back on loan again. We are massively underperforming our XG. Our XG is 2.5, so we should be well clear here, but it's still very much game on. Duque, can he get an assist that would draw him level with the great man Shakir Omar? Gilchrist, there's a good ball for Duque. Can he pull it back? Ong is there. We've got players at the outside the box as well. It's there for Bermudez. Bermudez! Oh, very nicely done. Omar Bermudez, number 5 this year for him. And at 2-0, when they haven't had a shot on goal yet, start booking your hotels ready for the final, I think, because this should be done. Duque, intelligent, wasn't really there for him, was it? The space was at the edge of the box as they've sort of piled back in. And, well, Bermudez made no mistake with that space that they gave him and tucked it away beautifully. All right. The other one I don't think we get back on loan is Van der Molen. We do have the option to buy. I still don't understand exactly what the scouts rate about him so highly, but yeah, I think we're looking for a left-back this summer. Varella's absolutely fine. I like Varela. He does a decent job for us, but... We need a backup for him. He can't do it all himself, and I just haven't quite found that person I want yet. I think we could just about start to make a couple of subs here. No, I want to sub you off. Of course, you want a booking, so let's get Ianu on. Ball in, decent ball. It's just over from Bayless. Anybody else? Have we already made a sub? No. I should have put some youngsters on the bench. I didn't want to take this game too lightly, though. That was the problem. Bayless is not having his greatest game, so we'll get Bruno on for him. The other one maybe is Conan Ong, but I think I'd like to leave him on, especially at 2-0. If he can get himself another goal, that can only be a good thing as well. Let's try a demand more since we're all looking complacent. And there's not been a great game. It's been your typical semi-final in a neutral venue, hasn't it? Because we've dominated. They've just made it difficult for us, and it's a very, very comfortable 2-0, and we will be going back to the final. We will face either Aberdeen or Rangers when we get there. Congratulations on reaching the final. And yeah, I mean, Arbroath acquitted themselves fine, but they played like a team that weren't exactly in it to win it, were they? Or, I mean, they were, but you know what I mean? They were just sort of trying not to get smashed. McLean had a very, very good game indeed. A number of chances. Well done, mate. And that will do it for today. If you have enjoyed that, make sure you hit thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new. We've got a Scottish Cup final to look forward to. Don't forget, of course, well, to nominate your viewers' players of the year. So I think what we'll do, we might, all things being equal, because if we look at the league table, we need to win out, essentially. So I think what we'll do is we'll come back, we'll show Rangers, we'll show Celtic and Motherwell, then we'll show Rangers and Aberdeen. If we're still going, we'll show the final game of the season on extended highlights, and then we can come back for the Scottish Cup final. If after this episode the title is wrapped up one way or another, what we will do is we will not show the last game, and then we'll come back for that Scottish Cup final. So it is officially, I think, squeaky bum time now. There is 5 games to play. We are 2 points behind Rangers. And it's going to be, well, it's going to be interesting to see if we can defend our title, isn't it? And we've got, of course, a cup final to look forward to as well. So until next time, I've been Aussie Villain. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.